So we're going from S to F. We've got S tier will be my absolute faves. A, very good. B means they're not bad. Like, I like them. I think they're good. They just might not be as, you know, fave as A or S. C is kind of like, it's there. I don't hate it, but I don't really think about it. Like, at all. D is like, I'm not a midget school now. No, thank you. And F is, get the fuck out. I hate it. I hate it here. Majula. Majula. So, our first area leads to Majula, but it's the place you have to head to first after the opening cutscene. It's a place called Things Betwixt, and that is most definitely what it is. It's a very strange little spot that, while connected to another area, seems somehow not part of the real world. And that's where you meet your grandmas. There's a whole lore thing about how they were supposedly firekeepers, but it's kind of confusing. But yes, there's basically three grandmas sitting at a table, or two at a table, one at the fire. There's three grandmas in there. It's very like the Fates, like homage-y. Hello, we doing Dark Souls Zone tier lists. How you doing, Maxine? So I'm rambling about reasons why I like zones, and a lot of it ties into aesthetics and lore. Instead of how hard is it to get through this area, although that does come into play. Yeah, so you have them, and then there's like a younger maid who takes care of them, and they talk about a fourth old deer who's like this old lady you saw in the opening cutscene. Things Betwixt is a very neat little area. Honestly, I don't even want to put it in C. I don't want to put it in it's there. Like, I could, because, you know, it's basically, it's not even your hub. It's just kind of a starting zone, but it's a starting zone you come back to for certain things. And I don't know, I just find it way more interesting than, like, other stuff. So I'll put it here to start, and then it might end up getting bumped up to, like, low B. But we'll put it here just because, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there's not a lot going on there. But it is an interesting spot. When are you planning to do that creepy house thing? I'm doing it on Sunday. We're doing it on Sunday afternoon. That reminds me, I need to sit down later or in the morning and finalize week 2's schedule so I can put that up. But it's going to happen on Sunday around 4 my time, I think is what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do afternoon. We could do evening, though, if other people would rather do evening, but I know last time we ended up going for like 4 hours and didn't even get through that many properties, so... Sunday, that's right. So Themes Betwixt is cool. I personally, my initial feeling is to keep it in B, but we'll make it high C for now. But how about the place whose music this is that we're listening to right now? The hub, Majula. Absolute #1 favorite hub in any FromSoft game ever. I didn't even realize that was the end of the song. Dramatic pause. Majula is the best. It's beautiful. The melancholy of the place isn't quite like Firelink, whereas like at Firelink it actually feels kind of like, oh, the ruins, and oh, some people are sad, and oh, stuff is not great. In Majula, yeah, things aren't great. Stuff is going bad, but the people who are in Majula are there because they came there for a reason. Even if they can't remember what the reason is, they came there to push forward, and it's just so pretty, and it's so calm. Like, it makes you feel better being there, which is not something that you can say about the hubs generally. They might be interesting, they might be pretty, they might be like, they might be calm, but they're not necessarily fully soothing. Like, I don't go to Firelink and go, wow, I'm so soothed by listening to the bullshit coming out of the Crestfallen Warrior's face. You know, it's less the place that's soothing you and more maybe some of the NPCs that are cool that you're hanging out there. Majula, it's the whole package. There's just something about it that is just so, like, I would live in Majula. I would set up my little witch's hut there. Easy. No question. This is a separate list. We are doing Dark Souls 2. We're moving on to Dark Souls 2. All of those zones we just did, Dark Souls 1. We are now doing Dark Souls 2. So I moved Dark Souls 1 up here. Whee! So that we can keep it close by, but Dark Souls 2. And like I said, Dark Souls 2, highs are really high, lows are fucking oh no. Fucking fuck. Where'd the budget go? They tried. Forest of Fallen Giants. Because I could go on and on about Majula and why it's so fucking cool. It's just fucking gorgeous and wonderful. And I love, no, I'm not finished. I love that in all 3 Dark Souls games, there is a Crestfallen Warrior character, whether they are called that or not. Okay? And they are generally voiced, at least the first 2 are voiced by the same guy. I can't remember, is Hawkwood voiced by the same guy? I'm already blanking. And they're there to give you some vague direction. At least in 1 and 3 they are. They're there, they give you vague direction, and they both kind of wander off eventually to kind of try to do something, and it doesn't really work out for them. But in 2, the Crestfallen Warrior, he is firmly planted where he is. Oh my gosh! Toxic Venom, thank you so much for stepping through the static. You help the curse endure and spread and grow. He's firmly planted, and he's given up. He is completely given up. But he's at peace with it. He's like, I can't keep going, and if I keep going, I'm going to destroy myself. So I'm going to sit down in a place that is soothing and cut off from most of the rest of the world. We're just going to chill here. But through your actions of the game, you start collecting your NPCs that come back to the zone. First time watching this stream, love the vibes, and I heard this is The Void for horror lovers. Hell yeah! Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm glad that I've got a good reputation. Thank you. I'm very glad to have you here. I'm on passion. We do a lot of horror here. We also do a lot of Souls, but we do mostly horror. Sweet, I'll be on the ceiling full or the roof. Hell yeah! We need some weirdos up on the roof of the shack. Nobody's volunteered yet. We have a stoner corner. And there's some people who like to wander around the outskirts of the campfire, but nobody's volunteered to perch on the roof, and I am so down. The Crestfallen Warrior, he has a name. His name is Solden. He actually has a name. As you start collecting more NPCs by, like, finding people, you know, out in the world, and some of them wander back to Majula because it's kind of a safe place, over time, his attitude slowly changes. And it was never, like, super, oh, that's the end of the world. It's more just, like, things are really rough. If you want to go on out there, that's your deal. My deal is to plant my butt right here because I am so done. I have lost everything. There is nothing left for me. And as you collect all these NPCs, he starts realizing, like, how nice it is to have these other people around, and eventually he'll give you a ring. Like, no, he doesn't give you a ring. He gives you a soul vessel. He gives you a fucking soul vessel, which is your respec item. They're super rare. There's a couple of them, but they're finite. And he's totally like, I forgot how nice it was to have other company, because he had lost things so long ago that he had nothing left. And you without getting in his face and, like, trying to, he's not, like, going out and being super social. He's just enjoying the fact that the place that was soothing for him now has company, and it's so nice to have company again. It's a really nice little subtle thing. So I have big feelings for Majula. The roof's comfortable, the breeze is nice, but the spiders are a bit annoying, but luckily this venom or poison is a drug for me. Hopefully nothing too frightening up there, venomous-wise. Forest of Fallen Giants. Okay, let's put this here. Forest of Fallen Giants. Very neat area. Usually people go here first. Sometimes they go Hades Tower of Flame, but usually you end up going here first. It's the most, it's, because Salden actually tells you the path, and it feels like it makes sense because it's closer to the bonfire. Anyway. Very neat. The idea of Forest of Fallen Giants. So in Dark Souls 2, the giants, where they fall, so the giants came from across the seas and waged war because, well, turns out the king went over there and took something of theirs, and they're not happy about it, so they come across the ocean, and for what seems like at least decades, if not more, like through generations, like through at least 2 or 3 generations of people, like waged war in Drangleic and trying to get back what was stolen from them. And wherever they fell, it seems that like these tree-like forms, they kind of start turning into trees where they fell. And so it's a little, I feel like the way that it's talked about, it's unclear. Was it a forest first, and then where the giants fell, they also became part of the woods? Or is it that the entire forest exists because so many giants died there? It's unknown. It's kind of like a folktale, right, in the zone. So it's very cool. I like it very much. Is it as cool as some of the later areas? No. I'll probably stick it in B here. I'll just keep it here in B. But, you know, it is cool. The fort is interesting. There's all these busted statues that are massive. Absolutely massive, towering over you, that have like broken, and there's like a head laying there, and like you look over and you realize that the thing you're running on is like its sword. It's very neat. So Forest of Fallen Giants is solid. She just became my favorite streamer. I see Cave of the Dead and Tours of Pharaohs. So yeah, we're working on, we finished Dark Souls 1 earlier, now we're doing Dark Souls 2, so they're all in here. So are the Dark Souls 3 ones, although there's not as many of them. I thought there'd be more. Cathedral of Blue. Okay, let's put this here for a second, because this as a reminder, this is where I stick things when I'm talking about them. Cathedral of Blue. You know what? Hang on, Cathedral. Why are you above Hades Tower of Flame? Let's talk about Hades Tower of Flame first, because Hades Tower of Flame is great. I love Hades Tower of Flame. It's beautiful. It's interesting. You can see it from Majula, and then you do this weird walk, and you're like, I'm here now. This is what happened? Don't worry about it. I could go off on a whole ramble about, yes, the maps do overlap, but there may actually be like kind of a thematic reason for why it feels like places are too close together, because the way time passes for you are an undead, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I could go on and on. But Hades Tower of Flame is fucking gorgeous. So I'm really torn whether I want it to make it low A or if I want to make it high B right now. So we'll keep it here, and then it might get bumped up. The bosses aren't that interesting. Frankly, they're just not that interesting. But the zone itself is very nice. The zone itself is very nice. And it's also where you probably get ganked first by PvP people. Cathedral of Blue and Grand Cathedral are basically the same thing. Or is Grand Cathedral... Wait, is this... No. This should be down here. Grand Cathedral should be like down here. Yeah, with Liam Lois. I was like, why are the cathedrals next to each other? I just missed it. That's what happened when I was trying to arrange them in their general appearance order, sort of, kind of. Cathedral of Blue is tied to Hades Tower of Flame. So, like, there's not really that much special about it, so, you know, it's there. There's an Ornstein cosplayer in there who tries to beat you up, but he doesn't while he has the butt stomp, it ain't lightning, so it doesn't do him as good. Just saying. There's also some jerk who won't talk to you unless you're face high enough. Is it your faith, or do you just need the item? I think maybe you just need the item on you. I forget. I don't usually talk to him. He always thinks I'm stinky. what's his face. Okay, let's keep this down here so we can be focused on the Dark Souls 2. No Man's Wharf. Okay, so technically you're supposed to go to... The game expects you to go to No Man's Wharf before Lost Bastille. I always do Lost Bastille first, but, you know, don't worry about it. No Man's Wharf, aka Viking Pirate Land. Very cool concept. I wish there was more going on visually, but honestly, like, there's a ship. It lights up when you ring the bell and it's all spooky. And yeah, I don't know. I still kind of want Pirate Souls. Could somebody make Pirate Souls? That'd be really cool. Because we have Wo Long now, which is like Muso Games meets Souls, right? Like Neo-ish. It's kind of Neo-ish. Like, could we have Pirate Souls? That'd be cool. I like No Man's Wharf just fine. It's fine. Some people are bored with it, but the ship gets it points. So it might end up being low B, but we're gonna make it like high C maybe. Because like I said, Things Betwixt may bump up into B. Because I actually do like Things Betwixt. I gotta get more things up here before I decide what's low B, what's high C in comparison to other things, right? I like the ship. The ship does a lot for me. Lost Bastille. Lost Bastille. Let's go. Okay. While it is where we meet... Well, no, it's not. Not necessarily. You might meet her for the first time in No Man's Wharf, arguably. But I always do Lost Bastille first, so I associate it as the place I meet Lucatiel, who's one of my favorite NPCs in the whole goddamn trilogy. Much love for her. The overall feeling of the place, while it is cool that it's literally a Bastille and that it's falling apart, the Ruin Sentinel bosses are cool. That's a really neat fight. It's even more fun when you have people to call in and it's actually like a 3-on-3 fight and all that kind of thing. I like it a lot. But it's just, yeah, visually it's just not as interesting as these other early zones. A big giant bird takes you there if you go the route I'd go. So there's two ways to get there. You can either hop in a nest and have a giant bird take you there early, or you can, you know, wait until you go down below excuse me, zippies. In the what's it? Brain, thinky brain. I'm literally playing this game right now on YouTube. Flubbin'. Because you're supposed to go through No Man's Wharf to get to the Lost Bastille, but if you notice the little birdie nest, it can also take you there. Although you can't get to the whole zone right away. You have to, if you don't have certain things. Anyway, it's okay. It has the we run and we explode. I'm gonna blow up, guys, from Happy Souls. It's kind of like, okay, I gotta get through the Lost Bastille. There's really neat visual little moments, so I don't think it's a low B or anything. I just don't think it's as visually, like, Hades is just so pretty and the Fallen Giants is just so neat. I might be willing to do this. I have to think about it though. Might have to do that, but like Belfry Luna, all you do is fight the freaking gargoyles. I do like the weird little dudes in there though.
She want to call the bell for the prince and the princess through.
Like, they're great. So, you know, high C. But, you know, there's not much to the Belfry. So we'll keep it in C. Sinner's Rise. Okay, so Sinner's Rise is Lost Bastille. It's part of Lost Bastille. It's where you actually fight the boss. So there ain't much to it. It's just kind of there. Yeah, it's just kind of there. It's just kind of... I think a lot of these random ones were like, they named the zone or the bosses separately. I'm not doing a boss tier list right now. I'm doing a zone tier list. Sometimes I'm using the bosses to help me decide where they go. But we're... Speaking of Ruin Sentinels, this is their music. Yeah, Sinner's Rise, I mean, the whole dealio where you have to, like, you can light the oil on either side of the building and have the boss area be lit instead of it being super dark in there. That's a cool touch, and it frankly makes the zone look more interesting. But I can't, like, as a zone, like, there's nothing to it. There's just nothing to it. Okay, let's talk about Shaded Woods. Let's talk about Shaded Woods. I like Shaded Woods. It's a fuck. Shaded Woods is a fuck. You get in there, you can't see. There's weird phantom enemies that can attack you. If you hit the trees, they make weird noises. It's got the head of Vengarl. It's got the fucking head of Vengarl. A decapitated head that talks to you. There's so much cool stuff. The weird lion dudes that are petrified are in Shaded Woods. Man Scorpion Tark is in the Shaded Woods. Like, there's just a lot of... Ornifex Bios Weapons is in the Shaded Woods. Like, it's an interesting zone. There's a lot going on. There's lots of characters. So, I kind of want to put it in A. I kind of want to put it in A. I might bring it back down to, like, high B. I might argue with myself later with Hades and all that, but I'm just gonna throw it there for now. So I really like going to the Shaded Woods, personally. It is a little discombobulating, but oh boy. Huntsman's Cops. Hey, come on. There you go. I keep my mouse on the one we're talking about. Oh, the Huntsman's Cops. I think this is gonna be a weird way to put this. Oh look, it's the gargoyle theme again, because the whole gargoyle fight's just a fucking homage to Dark Souls 1, except there's like 6 of them. Anyway, I didn't have that blow up when we talked about that, so I guess I'm having it now. Huntsman's Cops. Okay, this is gonna be a weird way to put it. I think if they were to like remake Dark Souls 2 from the ground up, I think this area would be gorgeous and dark and weird and creepy. As it is, I want to like the area more than I really do. Like, the Huntsman's Cops is kind of that zone where you're like, it's okay, like, it's alright. Could be worse. And people hate getting ganked in there. Forlorn often shows up in there, the fucking invader, and like, there's a lot of bullshit, and I think people associate Huntsman's Cops most commonly with, first of all, it's boss fight, which is like, bleh. The skeleton lords sound so metal, and the whole room looks so metal, but man, it's not a fight. There's like nothing to it, especially because the lords go down faster than any other skeleton in that fucking room. Some of the bone wheels are harder to hit. Like, so people associate with that, and they associate it with the gauntlet run to get to the fucking other boss of the zone, which is a dead end. So it doesn't get a lot of love. I love the concept of it. I do. I think it's an interesting, creepy place. And personally, I might put it above Lost Bastille just for interestingness. But I'm not sure. I'm also just more partial to the woods, you know, like I would be, considering that I live in the creepy woods in this shack and you guys come and hang out with me, okay? Yeah, there's also, I don't know, but there's lots of little things in the Cops that I actually like I love, there's so many dudes, like bandits trying to like jump on your head and gank you. It feels like an actual place. So, whereas Lost Bastille is like, well, there were prisoners here. There doesn't really appear to be any here anymore. It's just guards guarding empty cells. What's going on? What happened? Yeah, you fade out, gargoyles. You fade out. Now, most of the time, I'm not going to, most of the time, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go, oh, this boss is really cool, though, so I'm going to give this zone a higher thing. I'm going to do that with Undead Purgatory, though. I'm going to do that with Undead Purgatory, because that is where the chariot fight is. And the chariot fight is cool as fuck. So different. There's nothing, there's like no other fight like it in all of Dark Souls. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt, but it's cool. It's really cool. And, you know, like, there are other fights where you have to, like, do a thing to make a thing happen. That's not what I mean. I just mean there's nothing like, it's a literal chariot running around its track. The fight is with the chariot. It ain't with the executioner. The executioner fucking bites it when you put the gate down and you fight his horses. It's really cool. I have a lot of feelings about this fight. I think it's very cool. It is still a small zone. You know, it's not like a full zone or anything, but I would definitely put it above the cops. So, itself, just because the fight is so darn cool and I'm so partial to it. The area looks interesting. And then there's that weird guy called Titty Glenn hanging out on the other side who won't talk to you unless you're a big ol' PvPer. Oh no. Is that Harvest Valley? Come on. Harvest Valley is like, please don't do this to me. Harvest Valley. Oh no. I wish Harvest Valley and Earthen Peak, I wish I could just like connect them, because it's all the same. It's all the same. It's all that zone. I will say though that Harvest Valley it's before you get to the meat of the area, so it's basically just poison gas and let's see. I mean, the windmills are in the distance. And there's those big giant guys that like throw things at you. I think we can safely put it in a bleh. I think we can safely finally have a bleh. I don't have as much hate for Earthen Peak. I will probably put it low C. But I mean, I don't mind going through Earthen Peak. Yeah, it's kind of a fuck, but for me, Earthen Peak's kind of a fuck. It's not like Blighttown in the sense that it's not a rite of passage, but it does have that sense of, for me, a zone that is a fuck, and I'm like, oh god, I gotta get through this zone. But I have a good time getting through it, even though it's not visually super interesting, if that makes sense. So, I'm gonna put it here. I might change my mind later. Yeah, I mean, yeah, visually it's just not super cool, but I don't mind going through it. There's lots of interesting enemies and stuff, so... and I like the whole setting the windmill on fire to make the poison stop. I think that's a really neat little, like, how would you know? But you find out talking around the water cooler, right? What's next? Brightstone Cove, Seldora! AKA... Spider World! Wait, is this the chariot fight music? It might be. Which fight is this? I can't remember. I'm probably misspeaking and someone's like, how can you forget that it's this fight? Brightstone Cove, Seldora. So you walk in and you're like, oh, there's like people here. Okay, maybe they're not regular people. Something's wrong. And then you get further in and you're like, there's a lot of spiders in here. And then you get even further and you're like, there's people that are spiders. Spiders. There's sand and there's spiders and there's crystals and there's dark and there's... Yeah. The mid-zone boss is a joke. Although I don't mind it. I think it is kind of interesting just to have, like, a Magus being all like, I'm preaching to my people, and you come in and you're like, fuck your church, and you just destroy them all. It's,
This is heresy! Wah!
I don't know how to describe it. It's very like, okay, y'all, this is not a normal congregation. Do we need to deal with this? Yes, this is the chariot fight race. Yes. Fucking fight. I love it. This is the epic part of the music. This is the music you listen to while you get kicked in the teeth by a really big two-headed horse. Okay, anyway, back to Bright Zone Cove Seldora. The zone's fine. It's not my favorite. I would put it like here. Or maybe... Would I put it above Fallen Giants? That's a little tricky. That's a little tricky. The big boss of the zone is a very big fucking spider and it's very interesting, but... It's a big spider that used to be a small spider.
It was someone's pet.
Let's see. I would say I'm a little bit more partial to the Giants lore than to the spider lore. Okay, I know that, yeah, the Skeleton Lords fight isn't that great, but their music's okay. You know, it's not the best track, but it's okay. Doors of Pharos. Okay, yeah, now, okay, this is where it gets a little tricky, because I have to separate Doors of Pharos from Grave of Saints. Because in my mind, they're, like, because all that undergroundy feeling stuff is so connected, I'm like, they're not the same zone, just in my brain. They feel connected. I feel like, hang on, Grave of Saints is, let's see. Let me... Because Grave of Saints where you, like, hop down the fucking coffins and all that, right? And that's neat. There's not a whole lot going on down there, though, really. I don't know that I don't think I'd put it in bleh, but it's just not that interesting. Trying to remind myself of what's down there besides the Vanguard. Is that the only thing? Yeah. This is the part where I'm at in my YouTube. So I'm like refreshing. Oh god, Doors of... So I have to associate Doors of Pharos with the Authority, huh? Okay. Okay. So here's the deal. For me, Grave of Saints is just kind of fair. I like finding the little Mohawk rat, but there's not much going on. Would I put it above Earthen Peak, though? Probably not. If I start getting bothered by these, I'll make a separate tier that's like, there's just a boss here. I don't have much to say. Doors of Pharos, though. Doors of Pharos. Okay. Whoo. I know objectively the Authority fight is not a great fight. I have a weird attachment to it, and I think it's because the first time I ever did it, I did it in one shot. And it wasn't that bad. I know that was just my build, and I just made it. I managed to do it. But I don't know, I feel so bad for the Authority. Like, that poor boss. That was an idea someone had, and then it never went anywhere, and then they were like, fuck, this isn't that interesting. Put in ads. Give it ads. Am I don't want to put it in bleh. I don't want to put it in bleh. It's not that interesting, but I don't want to put it in bleh. I guess what we could do, we could put it in bleh, but make it above Harvest Valley. Because I like the Rat King. I like the Rat King. I do. Like, yeah, no, I'm gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to add a tier. We're gonna have to add a tier. Add a row below. We're gonna have to. I don't know. Make it pink. Hello? Why'd you go away? E. Just bosses. There we go. You can put those down there. Yeah, I like
the Rat King.
But yeah, the area maybe isn't as interesting looking as Grave of Saints. I guess I could keep it. I don't know. This is hard because I don't hate the Authority. I know it's not a fave, but this is
My tier list.
I'd actually rather fight the Authority than the fucking Vanguard, personally. I'm gonna do something brave and controversial. Brave little me. Let's see here. Okay, what's next? Iron Keep! Oh, Iron Keep. What do I do with you? What do I do with you, Iron Keep? You're visually cool, and your lore is awesome, and god damn do I, like, my butt cheeks start clenching when I have to start going through the Iron Keep. Fucking Smelter Demon. Fucking Balrog, the creature known as the Old Iron King. Like, I don't know, man. I would argue it's a very nice look because it is a very nice looking area. I kind of want to put it up to A. If I don't put it in A, I've got these weird ones that I'm like, who's going to be the gatekeeper between B and A? I don't know. I do have some fond memories of people helping me through Iron Keep. I have some good memories of that. Bless the semi-Lucatiel cosplayer with a massive Zweihonder that saved my... It took me basically through the whole thing. Like, she helped me with Smelter and then, like, put her sign down close to Smelter. Like, we went through the whole fucking zone together. It was really cool. I just... fond memories of my first time through that game. Iron Keep, Iron Keep, Iron Keep. What do I do with you? You're visually so cool. Maybe I'll put Iron Keep up here. Yeah. Let's do it. Belfry Soul, which is part of the Iron Keep, which is the, opposite of Belfry Luna. There's Belfry Luna and there's Belfry Soul. I have a similar feeling about it. It's just like, it's there. There's nothing that makes me go like, woohoo, it's Belfry Soul. You know? Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I might, maybe I'll put Earthen Peak between them. I don't know. I'm being so brave with my C tier choices. Let's see here.
Shrine of Winter. There's nothing really going on there. It's there.
It's just there. It's just a thing. There's like nothing going on. I practically could put it in the just bosses here. There's really nothing fucking to it. However, the Shrine of Winter does lead to Drangleic Castle. I like Drangleic Castle. Is it my fave? No. Not really. And this is an awkward thing because I would be like, okay, but the boss of the area totally throws us over the top and bumps it up to A for me. But the thing is that the place where the boss is technically has its own little zone, right? So this is an issue where it's like, well, really, there's nothing to this, and I should just put this here. I should just put this here, and that's what I'm gonna do. But it is really cool. Like, this passage is really, really neat. So, I kind of torn. It's literally just a hallway. But it's a really cool hallway! So I don't have the same feeling about it as I do like Sinner's Rise. It's like Sinner's Rise is like, oh boy, I go through enemy, I light thing, I go in, I fight boss. Woo! King's Passage is like so much more than that. I'm gonna put it up here somewhere. And if it involves the boss, that makes me want to put it up here with the castle. Drangleic Castle is pretty cool. Castle versus the passage. So I feel like Hades might end up being the gatekeeper here. Because while it is very pretty, it's not very big. Bosses are kind of eh. King's Passage is very cool though. Yeah, I want to put Drangleic Castle maybe here or maybe above Forest of Fallen Giants. Maybe here, and then Passage can actually go above the castle. How's that? Because I love the boss of this zone. Mirror Knight. Fucking Looking Glass fucker. He is a good time. I've never really gotten to see the weird sort of covenant you can do in New Game Plus. I almost never do New Game Plus in these games. I always just start a new character. So I've never gotten to play around with that weird covenant where you can like help out in the fight. Shrine of Amana. Oh boy. What a zone. Gorgeous as hell. Absolutely fucking gorgeous. What a fuck to get through. What an absolute unit of a fuck. I mean, people have very like, and like the concept of the boss at the end is very, very cool, and I like it. Is it very neat looking? No. No, you get to the end and you're like, what is this? A big frog? Oh god! Blech. But the concept is very cool. And it is an absolutely gorgeous zone. So, oh boy. Where do I put it in A? Where do I put it in A? It's such a fuck to get through. But it's so pretty. I can't not put it in A. Here maybe, below Shaded Woods, because Shaded Woods is better put together. Well, excuse me, being a bit of a fuck. It's just so pretty. It's so pretty. That's what, and it has to be, because it's such a fuck to get through. If it wasn't as gorgeous as it is, I think people would have just quit the game right there. You know, push through like crap like the fucking Grave of Saints and like Huntsman's Cops and shit, and then you come out and you're like, I have to do this bullshit after I just did a castle? What? Alright, what's next? Ooh, the Undead Crypt. Okay, this area. This area. I like this zone a lot. Visually, could have been more interesting, frankly. They could have done more. But just what the zone is very neat. I love, what's his name? Agadine? Veldstadt is one of my favorite bosses. And just the whole reveal, which I'm not going to spoil, because this is going up, you know, while I'm talking freely about most of the zones. If you don't know the big reveal, I'm gonna leave that alone. Yes, I know this game's been out for a while, but you can watch my Let's Play. I'm on my way there. I still got a ways to go, but I'm on my way. This is the Authority's music. The Authority has really cool music. It was clear they really wanted that boss to be super neat, and then in the end they just had to make it a real big rat puppy. The Undead Crypt, though, like, I feel like, so if I were doing it purely based on lore, I would put it up in A. I would put it up in A. Easy. Just visually, it's not as interesting. So what I'll do is these can be our gatekeepers here. This is the gatekeeper based on appearance. This is the gatekeeper based on lore. Let's do it. Because Forest of Fallen Giants falls into that category as well. I like, when I get to the Undead Crypt, I get excited. I actively get excited because of what is to come. So it's gotta at least be in B. I can't put it any lower. Memory of the King. Okay. This one is kind of weird because it's kind of like it's just there, right? There's not much to it, but the implications of it is just so cool. Yeah, listen to that music. The Royal Rat Authority. It's got fucking awesome music. What a bummer.
Most people really hate that fight.
The Memory of the King. Yeah, like, it's such an interesting thing. That, like, it is its own standalone thing. And so this is what makes it hard. Where do I put it? Because really all it has going for it is the lore. Do I put it like high C? Or do I put it like, because it's not really a zone, right? It's not actually a zone. Whereas like these are actually zones. What if we do this? What if we do something like this? Because I love the Memory of the King. I do. There's just not much to it as a zone, right? It's not really, it's not even really a zone. The other memories, out of, what is it? There's like 5 memories you can go into, and 2 of them are kind of just there. And then the other 3, you actively really do stuff. Well, one of the ones you don't actively do stuff in, you kind of actively do stuff. So it's confusing. Yes, you get to go into people's memories in this. No, wait, there's 6, because there's 1 in the DLC as well. But that one you actually do stuff. Okay, Cave of the Dead. Oh boy. Where do I... We're here. What do I do? What do I do? Where did I put this? Ugh. The Cave of the Dead. Okay, this... I guess I just put this in the just bosses, yeah? I don't know why it's so high up. This should be like way down with the DLC one. Somehow I got missed when I was rearranging these. Yeah, it's a place, and it's a very cool place with a very cool fight. But like I said, we're not going purely off of bosses. which is why I've got this tier now, because I don't want to judge the Cathedral of Blue is part of Hades Tower of Flame. Look at Hades Tower of Flame if you want to know what I think of the Cathedral of Blue. It's part of that, and I like Hades. Sinner's Rise, Cave of the Dead, we'll get there. We're not there yet. We haven't gotten to the DLC stuff. Dark Chasm of Old. Yeah, I didn't know where to... I remember this one, I just didn't know where to put this one. The Dark Chasm of Old. That's where you, it's the Pilgrims of Dark thing that is completely optional. And, it's where you go into for that stuff. It's a big ol', like, there ain't much going on there. Wait, here, I forgot to bring it up here. Dark Chasm of Old. There's really, like, nothing going on, but it is technically a zone, unlike Shrine of Winter, which is, like, nothing. I'm actually kind of tempted to put Shrine of Winter here. Like, because it's just a gate, if I remember right. Am I wrong? Am I forgetting something about Shrine of Winter? Let me... Woo! Whoopsie.
I just knocked something over, but luckily it's a sturdy thing.
It's just because it's just the door, really. There's like nothing really going on. It's the path up to the castle, but I don't think of it as part of the castle, so I'm gonna have to say that it can go here because there's like not really anything to it. I guess it's visually slightly more interesting than Dark Chasm of Old, though, huh? Because Dark Chasm of Old is literally like, it's a dark cave full of not invaders. Whereas Shrine of Winter, at least there's like the weather effects going on and stuff. I kind of want to put Dark Chasm of Old in Blood then. Make it the high D. Because there's just like nothing going on in that zone. I would even do this. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Harvest Valley gets to be above something. I don't have any GTFO in here. I thought I would put something like Harvest Valley down there, but like really it's just bleh. I don't have any get the fuck out so far. The gutter though. The gutter. Oh god, it's the Vanguard music. Imagine a whole bunch of ratties wiggling around coming at you like, duh. They're all like, I'ma get ya, I'ma get ya, I'ma get ya, I'm a rat, I'm a rat, I'm a rat. And you're like, which one of you has the mohawk? Where are you? I need to hit you. Getting stun locked in corners. Okay, I needed sippies. I kind of like this track though because it's just so over the top for what it is. It's like, oh dear God, it's a whole army of rats. They're led by a punk. The gutter. Okay. Can I say what? So I don't mind the dark area. So like I liked Blighttown, right? I put Blighttown pretty high up actually. This area just doesn't have as much going for it. And it's such a pain to get through. I don't think it's a GTFO. I don't think it's GTFO, but I'm kind of tempted to put it down there. The one thing that is keeping me from putting it and get the fuck out is that I love the weird giant ant creature that's friendly. It's just hanging out down there because it's probably the only place it can hang out where like things aren't just attacking it constantly. And it like it releases that weird like gas stuff that doesn't really do much of anything, but it's good. It's good for you. It like cures poison or something. I don't know. It's really basic. I like him. So the gutter is just, it's also so confusing. Like Blighttown's confusing to get around, but all the little places you can go, they don't all look the same. Whereas in the gutter, once you start climbing down places, it starts looking the same, and you're like, fuck. Did I go here? I don't know. Fuck, I fell down. I have to remember that I fell down here, so I still have to explore those areas way up there. Yeah. Gutter. Yeah, the ant is like the only saving grace of this fucking thing. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Gutter, you're such a fuck. I'll put you here for now. There's still more going on probably in the gutter than say like Grave of Saints or Doors of Pharaohs, but this is more my personal feelings, right? At the end of the day, I'm supposed to be more subjective than objective, right? This is mine. The gutter is fine if you can light a whole bunch of stuff to get going. That's the key, right? Black Gulch. Okay. This is also tricky. Because visually, I think the Black Gulch is actually kind of cool. But fuck that area. You also get to see your pal Lucatiel. Let's see. I'm gonna put Earth. I'm gonna do this. I'm being brave. Because as I start staring at this, then my brain starts going, okay, can I really put this here when the only saving grace is blank, you know? Yeah, but I still don't mind. I don't know. I really like the ratties, so. Black Gulch, poison, fucking everything. Everything is poison. And everything is, that's the weird hand things that come out of the oil and like grab you, and they're horrible and I hate them. But because it's so much more visually interesting, it's kind of hard to put it in bleh. It's hard to put it in bleh. It's hard to put it in bleh when something like Shrine of Winter is not in bleh. Like this, maybe? But Shrine of Winter's not really bleh, it's just kind of there. Oh, Black Gulch. At least it is very, I'm a sucker for like all the neon green on the dark. I won't lie, I think it looks cool. And I can appreciate a zone that is just there to mess with you with all the poison. Okay, alright. We're gonna have to get... We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Aldia's Keep! Sorry, I said that kind of loud. What? Okay, I like Aldia's Keep. It is very visually interesting. It is very cool. It's weird, and that crazy, like, dinosaur skeleton attacks you. I think, yeah, it is a very interesting little spot. Ooh, but where to put it? I don't know if I'd put it in A. Which track is this? I never listened to this one. Oh, that's why. Moving on to the Looking Glass Night. where do I put you, Aldia's Keep? Where do I put you? Because there's also a whole tons of lore implications here. I don't know where to put it. This little crowd here is getting tricky. It's getting tricky. Because as pretty as Hades is, I don't know that I can't put it in A. Again, I might be bringing Iron Keep down to B. Ooh, okay, Aldia, you can stay there for now. I gotta think about it. They didn't put the text on this one, but it should be the Dragon Eerie. It gets to go up here. It gets to go up here. Ooh, which one, though? I suppose I'd rather have to go through the Eerie than the Shrine of Amana, but I like the lighting of Shrine of Amana more. Arguably. The Dragon Eerie is the... I would argue the Dragon Eerie is kind of like the Anor Londo moment of Dark Souls 2. It's like, you go through all this crap, and then you go up this elevator, and you're like, whoa. Holy shit. That's a lot of red dragon question marks? You know? They're probably really just, drakes of some kind, but... Or, without getting too much into it, just experiments of all the... But don't worry about it, don't worry about it. They're dragons, in quotation marks. Where... I was getting confused. I was like, where did I put it? It's here. Honestly, it's so spectacular. We could put it above Shaded Woods, maybe. It's just so visually spectacular. I think we can do that. I think we can get away with that. The Dragon Shrine, which is part of it, is also very cool. Though I would argue there's not nearly as much stuff going on there, so it's kind of like, The Dragon Knights are neat. I like that they're completely docile unless you pick a fight. But the big armor guys are not. I don't know. There's like weird stuff going on there. You do get the one invader though. You want stuff over here. I like talking to the, again, in quotation marks, the character known as the Ancient Dragon. It's very cool. And I like the way that they speak. God, Dragon Shrine. Where do I put you? I would put it... Probably somewhere back here? Like, it's neat, but there's not a ton to it. But I wouldn't put it in C. I wouldn't put it just like, oh, it's there. Because it's part of the Dragon Area. Like, it's very, very cool. Okay. We're finally getting large enough here that... okay, we're getting into the memories. Now, most of the memories are a very cool thing that we do. But I believe it's Jeff? Memory of G that is the King's One. Give me 2 seconds. I can pull this up. We can figure it out. Make sure, like, which one is which, because that will affect my feeling about them and how I rank them. Is it that, or is it Oro that has... Which one is it? Which one is it? Memory of Vamar is... it's the one where you met Drummond. And there's some general cleanup. Okay. It's fine. You do get to meet Drummond. There's not a whole lot going on, but it's fine. Memory of Oro. Ooh. This is the one where, like, you're basically just kind of running through and like, holy crap, what's going on? Time travel, what? It's just kind of there. There ain't much to it. I don't think I wouldn't call it a bleh, but it's not that interesting. It's arguably more interesting Black Gulch, though, so let's put it there. Let's put it there. And then, yeah, G must be, yeah, it's the cool one.
It's the interesting one.
Memory of G, where you actually get to do a boss fight. It's very, very cool. Visually, there ain't much going on, but I would actually, I'd at least make it high C. Like, it's a very interesting thing that you get to do. Maybe something like this? I might have to rename my tiers for Dark Souls 2. But I'm trying to keep them the same. Let's see. Obviously, Dark Souls 2 takes a little longer to get through. It's the Milfonito from Shrine of Amana. This is part of why the shrine is so pretty. Just kind of take a moment to enjoy it. So neat. Love this. Memory of a Dragon. I don't even remember much of what you do with it. I'll put it maybe between Vanmar and Oro, because you don't do much, but it is an interesting thing to do. So. And I'd probably still rather do it than have to run through the Black Gulch, even though the Black Gulch is visually more interesting. Anyway, this is why it's so hard for me. It's like, but the zone's just so much cooler looking. Oh, but God, I hate having to go through it. Honestly, I'm starting to think, because of the way I'm thinking of things, I'm thinking Dark Chasm of Old should be the get the fuck out. Like, it's just boring. And then the gutter can go up here somewhere, maybe. You know? It's just, it's boring. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing the thing. It's just a little side thing to do. You get to fight Dark Lurker, but yeah, it's just visually not there. So there's like nothing going on. What am I doing next? Oh, here we go. All right, we already kind of set Cave of the Dead. So here, I'll pull Cave of the Dead back off, and we'll put it back in so we can actually talk about it. Starting with the Sunken King, Shulva Sanctum City. Okay, we're gonna have to start putting them in C so that I get to talk about them, because I gotta. And I might end up moving I might move one or two of the A's up to S with Majula. I gotta think about it. Shulva. Very neat area. Very cool. I really visually appreciate the way it looks. It's a bit of a maze, but it's not that bad. Like, once you figure out how to like get around and how things work, it's very cool. Where would I put it? Okay, this might be the moment where I have to do it. Oh boy. Do we move Dragon Area? It's funny. I kind of want to put a tier above S that just is called Majula. Tier M for Majula. I really like Majula.
Majula's cool.
Ooh. Dragon Area is hard because I love being there and I love how pretty it is, but actually going through it is kind of it's a little bit of a pain. That's why I'm keeping it high A. It's the same, and it's why like these guys, like they're kind of sharing the space. Shrine of Amana is much more visually interesting overall, but Shaded Woods has way more like cooler characters to talk to, and like it's not nearly as much of a fuck to get through. They're kind of sharing the space. God, all these key. Nah. You know, I might be willing to move all these keep up to A. I might. But then I feel like if I move all these keep, I have to move Hades as well. I feel like I have to. Hades is a solid zone. The bosses are just... All these keep is just so important to the story, right? Something like this, maybe? I knew 2 was going to be harder for me. Okay, back to Shulva Sanctum City. Where was the fuck we putting this? I would put it in A. But where? Maybe above Aldea's Keep? Or even above Shrine of Amana. I love this, the general zone of the city. The Sanctum is whatever. The Sanctum I can take or leave. That whole thing is kind of like, oh god. Let's put it, let's put the Sanctum. It gets more visually interesting as you go. Hang on. Where... Let me put this here for a second. Where does... Hang on. This is one of those things where it's like, I know where it starts, where does it end? Is it all the way up to the boss store? Is it all... If it's all the way up to the boss store... Yes and no. Hell yeah. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for Veldstadt? Love this music. Love it. Okay. No, Dragon's Rest is the boss here. These are both boss areas. So, Dragon Sanctum. It's tricky. I want to put it higher just because of the idea of it, and that the Drake Knights are a neat touch that you are encountering them, and they're a pain in the ass. I feel like things betwixt. Maybe you should go up to B, and then Dragon's Sanctum can be the C. Would I rather do Dragon's Sanctum or Lost Bastille? There we go. And then things betwixt. Like, there's just not a lot going on there, but I like it a lot, right? It is not a just, it's there, right? There's more to it. I like it. Yeah. It's hard. Okay, who is next? Dragon's Rest. You get to go here because you're basically just a boss room. Same with Cave of the Dead. Cave of the Dead goes above it, though. I'll tell you why. Oh my god, please. Cave of the Dead, I'm tempted to do what I did with Undead Purgatory and actually put it, like, up here. Because it's its own little space. Yes, it is only a boss room. But it's such a dynamic boss fight. Because... I don't know. Some people, like I was saying earlier when we were talking about, I mentioned Calamite. People fucking fight me when they hear. I'm like, I kind of like the Sin fight maybe a little more. I'm not saying Sin's better than Calamite. I'm just saying like, maybe I like the fight just a little bit more just because I'm a sucker for the destructibles. But yeah, people get mad at me. People get real mad at me. They're like, you're coming for my favorite dragon. I'm like, no, I like. I have a hard time picking between Calamite and Sin, I would say, as far as the dragons go. I like Sin because, well, the whole story of, you know, a sleeping dragon that is awoken and then poison bursts forth that murders everyone and the Drake Knights get what they deserved. You know, it's a good story. It's a good tale. It's a good time. Oh, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Right down here. Dragon's Rest is just that door. The door is very, 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 very fucking cool. But that's all there is to it, so we'll keep it in the E. Cave of the Dead. It's kind of its own thing. I kind of want to put it up higher. I got away with it with Undead Purgatory because there's technically like a bit of zone behind it, right? I don't know if I can get away with it with Cave of the Dead. We'll just leave it there. We'll just leave it there. We'll just leave it there because I'm treading into that zone where I'm starting to talk more about the boss itself than the boss fight than the zone. There's not really anything to the zone, whereas the Undead Purgatory is an interesting space. Okay, Broom Tower. Oh God. I think I have less hate for Broom Tower than some people, but it's not as it's a rough zone. It's a rough zone. I would say it's just such a fuck. It's the only reason why I can put Shrine of Amana so high as a fuck is because it's so pretty. Broom Tower is nice looking. It is nice looking. Where would I put it in comparison to these guys? I blew through Dark Souls 1. I'm humming and hawing like crazy over 2. Watch me blow through Dark Souls 3 like crazy. I don't think it's going to be nearly as difficult for me. Gosh. Where do I put you? Also, where do we say Iron Passage picks up from? Where does... Is it just that little zone? The Iron Passage is just that area with the fucking really cool, but they're just elevators. So visually it's very interesting. It's there. Visually it's interesting. I do like the elevators. Memory of the Old Iron King. Okay. So this is, here we go. This is rough. This is rough. The only reason why you go into this memory is for a boss fight. So I think I'm gonna have to put it in just bosses. Because the zone itself, there is almost nothing to it, even though you actually do have to fight your way through. It's all about just the bosses. 'Cause otherwise it goes in Bleh, and I can't put it in Bleh when Sir Alon is the fucking boss of the area. One of my favorite boss fights in the game. I can't do that. Oh, where do I put it? Where do I put it? I guess I put it there. Okay. Oh, Broom Tower. Did I really settle on putting in Tamacy? Or did I just get distracted? I would put Broom Tower at least above Lost Bastille. Above Huntsman's Copse? Yeah, okay, I can maybe do that. I can maybe do that. But below Dragon, the Dragon places? Let's do that. Let's do that. Frozen Aleum Lois. Okay. So I've discovered some people really just they hear Aleum Lois and they're like, oh fuck that zone. But what they're thinking of is the outskirts. They're not thinking of they're thinking of the bullshit of the outskirts that is completely optional and you never need to touch it ever. I've never bothered. Whereas Frozen Aleum Lois is I find it interesting. I think it's a neat thing to go through and literally defrost the zone. Is it this all the icy snow makes it maybe a little samey texture wise? But I think it's really interesting. I mean, I would put it, you know, I would put it, I would definitely put it above Broom Tower. Would I put it above Dragon Sanctum? I definitely put it above Broom Tower though. I like it better. Well, okay. I like the color scheme. The colors of Broom Tower much more. It's much more appealing to me. Frozen Aleum Lois less so. But just, I don't know. There's something about going through there. Also, it has an invisible ladder, which they never did again. And I thought that was such a funny, like, fuck with you kind of thing. Because there's, like, illusory walls, right? There's an illusory ladder. There's an illusory ladder. We almost got a mimic ladder in, Dark Souls 3. Or at least that's what I heard through the grapevine. I don't know if that's actually true. That might just be people making stuff up. Grand Cathedral. There's literally, like, nothing to the Grand Cathedral. Here's what I'm gonna do. Grand Cathedral and Old Chaos are kind of linked. They're arguably both tied to it's just boss, even though you don't fight the boss in the Grand Cathedral. The Grand Cathedral itself is kind of like whatever though. Like it's not that interesting looking. It's pretty boring, frankly. But it's not really a zone unto its own, so I feel weird like putting it in bleh, you know? It's the same thing with the Memory of the Old Iron King. I just have much stronger feelings about the boss that's attached. Frozen Outskirts. Get the fuck out. No, you go way down here. Dark Chasm of Old, I'm like willing to do this. I'm willing to do this. No, we're gonna do this. I'd rather have Dark Chasm of Old. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out here. Horse fuck Valley, as it is colloquially known. Fuck this zone. Once you get through Horsefuck Valley, what awaits you? Oh, not one, but 2 additional Avas, which is a boss from earlier in the zone. Ava is a cool boss. I don't really want to fight 2 of them for no reason and little reward. And if you die to them, Ava is a frosty tiger that can do sorcery, essentially, and is invisible. I don't remember if the 2 Avas in the outskirts are invisible or not. It doesn't matter. That zone has, like, no point to it, other than completionism. Alright, so here's the other reason why. Let's move on to the next thing, the Old Chaos. The reason why I'm willing to put Grand Cathedral here, but I am not willing to do it for Old Chaos, is because Old Chaos is a zone. You may only go there for the boss fight. It is a zone. You can tell. It's like, no, there's more to this place. We just don't have the key to open the door. Old Chaos? Fucking S tier. Fucking S tier. I fucking love going down there. I love the fight. It is, again, it's one of those things where it's like, this fight is incredibly unique and there's nothing else like it in Dark Souls. And it has this incredible moment where you finish the first part of the fight before the boss has actually really shown up. There's a whole part of the fight where the boss isn't even there. And you do all the stuff you're supposed to do, and then it's like a portal opens, the door opens, and you're like, oh, okay, continue onward into the true boss room. It's not an in, it's an out, and he's coming out. He's coming. And then you see the fucking health bar pop up, and just chef's kiss. It's such an intense moment, and it doesn't matter how many times I do that part. It's just, there's some meme about it. I don't think I have it on this computer though. That's like, it's some like wrestler face, and we're like, and you like see like flames like in front of him. It's me on New Game Plus 37 against the Ivory King. It's like, yeah, every time. Gets me every time. Fucking S tier. Fucking S tier. Is this the song I think it is? Yeah, this one's fine. We'll let it play. It gets better as it goes along. It's not the best one, but I love, and yeah, I'm just, so we're gonna have the room that leads into the to Old Chaos gets to be here. But there's obviously a whole zone past that portal, but you ain't going in there. Oh boy, the Throne of Want. Where do I put you? Where do I put you? There's not that much going on in there visually, but what it is and what it represents is important. So maybe when I put it above Iron Passage. Yeah, maybe. Iron Passage is just elevators. Would I put it above? I'm back. Had to get some food. 2 large boxes of pizza and 20 cans of Red Bull. Pass them around.
Pass them around. I cannot seem to speak at the moment.
Okay. Throne of Want. Also, welcome back. Put you. I just realized I don't know if I can. I like pineapples. I do. My favorite kind of pizza. So I'm vegan, right? So I can have cheese. My favorite kind of pizza is no cheese, Japanese mayo instead of cheese, and pineapples with jalapenos. That's my favorite kind of pizza. The longer I stare at this, like, this one is so hard. Because, like, I'm all like, yeah, this goes here. But then I start comparing some of them that are in completely different tiers. And I'm like, how do I do this? How do I do it? Throne of Want, where do I put you? I guess top of C would be fine. Are you not nope. No, well, so I was live this morning and then I had a break. Yeah, we did split stream today because I was playing Dark Souls 3 in the morning. And then I took a break and we just went live a couple hours ago. It ain't time for sleepies yet. I don't need no memes yet. We gotta get through all of these. It's funny, it took me like an hour and a half to get through Dark Souls 1. Not even. Like, Dark Souls 2, let's see, we've been at it. When did we start Dark Souls 2? It's been a little while. Can't help myself. Throne of Want, where do I put you? You represent cool things, but... Here. I have the same thing with Things for Twix. Represents cool things, there's not much actually going on. Bottom of B. There we go. Then again, maybe I feel like these maybe also. I don't have the same attachment to it, though. You know what? You're going in fucking E. I don't know what to do with you. I really don't know what to do with you. And you are technically just a boss room, so fuck it. I don't know what to do with you, Throne of Want. You have the coolest fucking name. Oh, is that all of them? Did I do it? Oh, God. Oh, God. We did it. You can't even... Don't worry about it. Horsefuck Valley. We said get the fuck out. Don't worry.